Okay, so we're going to go through Turkish Get-Up, but we're going to do it in steps or stages. So the Get-Up is comprised of, let's see, shoulder, elbow, hand, bridge, half kneeling, stand. I went so fast I didn't even count. Shoulder to elbow to hand to bridge to half kneeling and then to stand. 6. So there's 6 steps to the Turkish Get-Up, and I like to coach it up in each individual step. And I'll make the argument that it's not a bad idea to actually just work on going to the shoulder, for example, and do that for a couple sessions before you go to the elbow, and then go to the elbow for a couple sessions before you go to the hand. Obviously, you don't need to go in that sequence that slow, but my suggestion at minimum would be that you take your time in building up each phase of the Get-Up so that you master the position, you master the coordination and control of the exercise rather than just flying through it. Because the Get-Up is actually a great exercise for training coordination and control through your trunk and your shoulder girdle, even your hips as well. I think its greatest advantage is trunk and shoulder control. So I often don't take it up to the full standing position. And we focus a little bit on the lower end of the Turkish Get-Up, which we'll start right now. So to get into a Get-Up, or for that matter, any exercise in which you choose to press out from the floor on your back, we call this a sushi roll, or I should say Strong First calls this the sushi roll. You place your hand through, other hand comes over top, you're stacked in your sideline, you roll your whole body onto your back, and then you take both hands to press it out, and then the other hand's going to come down, and then the Get-Up, this off leg or the opposite leg to your weight holding hand is going to go straight out. Now you're not in line, you're slightly open with your foot on the right and your foot on the left. This hand's going to come out to the side and I'm going to connect into the floor. When you're in this position, before you go anywhere, make sure that your whole back is stuck to the ground, not here. Get that rib cage tucked down. Make sure that your kidneys are stuck into the ground. Pack that shoulder into a nice, strong, stable position. Think wide shoulders. And you have 2 options in your holding hand. One is an open hand stretching fingers to ceiling. Other one is to grip it tight and hold a strong fist. Take that opposite hand out to the side. Drive off your right foot, plank through your midsection, and turn to your left shoulder and left hip in this case, and look through the kettlebell. Roll back onto your back, and then drive into your rotation, look through the kettlebell. Now, 2 common mistakes you'll see when you go into that initial turning pattern. One is that you segment the turn between hip and shoulder too much. It's okay to have a little bit of a lead on the hand. It's not okay for you to lead with the hip with the hand staying behind. You want to stay as connected as you can through the midsection, and if you're lagging behind too far with that upper body, you end up creating a little bit more rotation and extension in the lower back than I would like. The other thing is when you turn to your shoulder, do not sink into it. You have to maintain this width through your shoulders. And if you collapse into your shoulder girdle when you go into that pattern, you're going to lose that benefit of stabilizing your shoulder. So once again, sushi roll to the back, press it out, hand comes down, wide shoulders, stable connection. Drive into your right foot. Punch the hand over and towards the ceiling. Think wide shoulders, so strong connection into the downside arm and shoulder to drive your, in this case, right hand to the sky. Not here, there. And then when you come back, try to meet the ground with your hip and shoulder at the same time. And then drive it over, come back, meet the ground at the same time. Let me show you from the other side. Okay, sushi roll to the back. Press it out. Right leg comes down, you're slightly open through your lower body. This hand comes out to the side. I actually kind of like to lay this down and then initiate the movement almost as a connection of the opening through that arm. Not important, it's just my preference because I'm initiating this turning motion. Now, the traditional get-up will have the hand down first. My suggestion was that you wait for the hand to go down until you initiate to the elbow. Okay, so when you come towards the elbow and the forearm contact, you drive the palm to the floor. Okay, versus starting from here. And the reason why, if you watch my right shoulder, if I go hand down, my shoulder pops up. If I come out wide shoulder, I can stick my elbow to the floor and imagine that I'm pushing to a wall with my right hand, and I initiate that push as I go through that turn. Wide shoulders. Right shoulder is pressing into the floor to drive my left fist to the ceiling. Stay connected in your midsection. Turn hip and shoulder to the back at the same rate. Slowly come to the back. There you go. So that is your Turkish get-up from your back to your shoulder. Work on that.